Hey everyone, I'm Beerman, and today we're going to make a mead. And everyone say hi to Turbo. She likes to supervise everything that I do and make sure that it's, fit for human consumption. Really? So first things first, we need to put our honey into our fermenter. The honey I chose to use today is a raw wildflower pure honey. It's Amazon. I just ordered it from there. I'll put a link down in the description so that y'all can try it if you would like. We're just gonna bloop it down in there. Turbo, why don't you go on so that people can see the honey go in? That ain't any better. Come on. Come on, Turbs. Now once you get down to here, what you can do, you can let it kind of come off like that. And we're going to use a little bit of our water. Put it in here. Then we'll shake it up and we'll get more of the honey out. And we'll do that a couple times just to get as much of the honey out of here as we can. This also helps oxygenate it really well. We want to get as much oxygen into solution as we can right now. Oxygen is good for yeast in the beginning. Oxygen is bad for alcohol after fermentation. Oh, see, that's already looking great. We'll pour this in now, and we'll do it again. And that did really well. As you can see, we got pretty much everything out of there. Don't forget to recycle. Now this one, we're going to try to get about half of it into our fermenter. I'm going to keep the second half so that if I want to back sweeten it, I'll actually have more honey to back sweeten it with. And this is going to be a little bit of trial and error. I think we need to go a little bit further. What do you think? Go a little bit further. Each one of these is supposed to be 2 pounds, so 1.5. I think that looks pretty good. And that honey tastes pretty good. So I'm going to take my water and I'm going to throw it in there. I'm only using 96 fluid ounces because 1 pound of honey takes up about 11 fluid ounces of space. So 3 times 11 plus 96 takes us to actually about 129 fluid ounces. A little over, by 1 ounce. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And now I'm going to shake it. I'm going to shake it for all it's worth. Part of what we're doing is getting a bunch of oxygen in there. The other part of what we're doing is dissolving all of that honey into the water so that the yeasties can swim around, eat all that wonderful sugar, create alcohol and CO2. And this is going to take a while. One of the great things about this style of fermenter is it's got a little bung to close off the airlock hole. It's great. I love it. So that's looking pretty good for now. Open it up. It smells like honey. We're going to pour in some more. All the water. Now this is a 5-liter fermenter, so I still have plenty of space in there. One of the things I like about a 5-liter is you still have room once you put your gallon in there to shake it up even more and get it nice and homogenized, mixed together. The other thing I like about it is as it ferments, if you get a real crazy ferment, it's going to foam up real high. And as it foams up, you've got space for that foam to go. If you didn't have space for that foam to go, then it's just going to come out your airlock. It's going to make a giant mess. We don't like giant messes. So, 5-liter for a 1 gallon. I recommend it. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with this. Looks good. I think we've got everything dissolved. I don't see anything in there. So we're going to check our starting gravity with a hydrometer. So we've got this glass beaker here, and we've got a hydrometer inside there. The hydrometer's got a little weight at the bottom, and it floats to a level of the density of the sugar that's in the liquid. So we're going to give it a quick spin. It's sitting at 1.1. That's a lot of sugar. So this is going to This is going to ferment out pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour this back in there. Everything here has been sanitized, so I'm not terribly worried about throwing it back in. And now, I'm going to throw in a little bit of lemon peel. Not a lot, just a little. Give it a little bit of a lemony goodness. Try to get just the peel and not much of the pith. A lot of times there's some bitterness in pith, and really I just want the lemony goodness. I think that's about it. Alright, before we put our yeast in, we're going to give it a little bit of nutrient. I'm using Fermaid O for our yeast nutrient today. I think we're going to do about a teaspoon. We want to make the yeast nice and happy so that we get all of that yummy honey alcohol. So I'm going to give this a quick shake again. Try to get all of that to dissolve into solution. So much fun. Hi Turbs. And Turbo's back to inspect. Alright, so now all of that's in solution. I'm just going to take our yeast and I'm just going to sprinkle it across the top. I'm not going to shake it in. I'm going to let the yeast do its thing, hydrate inside, and just kind of fall down into suspension. It'll get there. It'll do its thing. I'm going to go ahead and close it up and put my airlock in. Now what this airlock is for is as that yeast swims around and eats all that sugar, it's going to create two things. It's going to create alcohol, which is what we want, but it's also going to create CO2. And it's going to do that in about equal parts. And if that CO2 doesn't have anywhere to go, this goes boom. Lots of pressure will build up and it will explode. And we don't want that. So the airlock allows the CO2 to bubble up through and come out without allowing more oxygen to get back in there. Remember, oxygen's good in the beginning, bad towards the end. So no more oxygen after this point. So this will help keep everything nice and clean and sanitary. I'm going to set this over and let it sit for about a week, and we'll check it here shortly. Alright everyone, it's time to check our mead. Our mead has actually been in primary fermentation for about 2 weeks, and we still have quite a bit of active fermentation going. It has definitely slowed down, but we're still getting some blurps going. If you look at the actual solution, I'm not seeing as many bubbles go up, so it's time to check it. There's also a significant yeast bed at the bottom, and I'd kind of like to get it off of these lemon peels that are in here. If I sound weird, I'm getting over a chest cold and still quite a bit congested. Sorry about that. First thing we're going to do is we are going to take off our top. We'll take our airlock out, close off the little bung, and now we're going to take our sample. I do like these fermenters. They're quite nice. So I'm going to use my turkey baster. I'm going to pull it off. I'm going to look in, give it a quick smell. Everything looks good. I'm still getting a good amount of honey, but I'm getting actually a lot of lemon off of it. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm taking my sample in a method to try to keep as much oxygen out of solution as I can. Oxygen in the beginning is good, oxygen at the end is not. Alright, there we go. Turkey baster aside, I'm going to go ahead and just give this a quick cover, just to help keep anything from getting down into it. It is probably quite carbonated, so I'm going to dunk it a couple times, see if I can get CO2 out of solution. Alright, give it a quick spin. And let's see where it turns out. Oh, it's actually quite dry. I think we are sitting about a 0.995. So, actually quite dry. It probably won't, there's probably no sugars left in here for it to consume. So, it's probably done with primary, and what I've been seeing is it just off gas. We're going to give it a taste and see how it's doing. Now, as you can tell by the color, there is still quite a lot of particulates in solution. So it will need to sit and clarify for quite some time. Getting a bit of a, it's still quite young. Maybe a little bit of a farty on it. Not certain I care for this, to be honest with you, yet. Without any, like, sweetness to it, the lemon is coming off a bit harsh. It's almost like a cleaning solution-y. Alcohol is a solvent, and with that lemony, it's a bit of a cleaning solution taste to it. It's not super strong, and I'm thinking back sweetening this would actually just help remove that. It's also quite young. It definitely needs more time. So we're going to go ahead and transfer this into another container, get it off the yeast bed, and get it off those lemon peels. Yeah. I'm hoping we can save this. It's my first mead, and I would love it to turn out well. But if it doesn't, I mean, that's just, I'm learning, you know? For our transfer today, I'm going to be using my 2-gallon brew bucket to get our fermenter up above. I'm trying not to shake it up too much. All of that yeast that's down here, if you shake it up, it's gonna, plume up into solution. So really, just trying to keep it as stable as possible. We've got a clean and sanitized fermentation vessel for it, and we'll be using our auto siphon to go ahead and siphon it over. First things first though, we need to open some stuff up. Now, try not to mix up your lids there. One is clean, one is not. So I'm going to take my auto siphon and drop it in the bottom. I have not been using auto siphons long. This is actually my 3rd or 4th time using this. But as you can see, it's actually quite easy. Stick it in the base, pump it a couple times, it starts to move. I still need to do the calculation on what the ABV is on this, which I'll do here shortly. Might have been best to do just a straight mead to start and leave the lemon peel out. I don't know. I'm hoping that it will mellow out. Now, normally I would start to turn it to its side to try to get as much out as possible, but I want to leave as much of that yeast bed in there as I can, so I'm not going to bother this time. I'm just going to try to just let it do its thing. And that's it. That's all I'm taking. Now, you might be saying that's still quite a bit left in there, but honestly, I'm not too worried about it. Like, yeah, you're right. That's still quite a bit left in there, but whatever. I'm not too worried. Close this up. Now, I'm going to pop my bung here. I'm going to give it some twirls. Put my airlock in, give it some more twirls. Try to get as much of the oxygen out of there as we can. It was still quite gassy, so we need to check and see what the ABV is. So according to the calculator at brewersfriend.com, it is a 13.78%. That's pretty good. I'm very happy with that. So we're going to go ahead and sit this back and let it sit for another couple weeks and see what it does. See you then. This mead has been sitting in secondary fermentation for like 6 months, so I feel like it's definitely time for us to bottle it and give it its final try. Today, we're going to go ahead and transfer this into bottles. For that, we're going to use the cow stool. Put this up top. There is a bit of a bed on the bottom. Not entirely certain what it is. It's probably some yeast and some other stuff. I did pasteurize this a while back, and I did use a little bit of honey to back sweeten it. So I don't know if that could be a part of that. It is quite clear now. I mean, I've got a couple minor floaties in it from just moving it, but it looks great. Yeah, let's go ahead and transfer this. I've got a handful of bottles. I've got more if I need them. We're going to use an auto siphon and a bottle wand. I've used an auto siphon quite a bit in this whole process, but I've actually never used one of these bottle wands before. It'll be interesting. Let's give it a try. First things first, everything has been sanitized. I use a chemical called iodophor for my sanitization. A lot of people use Starzan, but you know, in the pro world, I'm just used to using iodophor, so that's what I use. I'm gonna pull this off, and we're gonna try to get this going. I have sanitized these bottles as well. Yes, these are wine bottles that I will be reusing. I'm looking for a good place to get new caps. If any of y'all know where I can get brand new replacement caps, that would be really useful, because I feel like I'm only going to get like 1 or 2 uses out of these caps. So you stick in your bottle wand down at the bottom. It's got a little plunger on the bottom. You want to make sure that that's engaged. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to leave the cap on my auto siphon, but I'm going to go ahead and stick it in. Let's see if we can get this going. Oh, I just disturbed all of that. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I disturbed that. I'll start up here, see if we can get it going. I may only fill this one bottle with the clear stuff on top, and then try to give it a second to settle. Yeah, I disturbed that a lot. Alright. Yeah, I disturbed the hell out of that. I'm gonna give it a couple minutes and see if it will settle back out. I've got one bottle, and it looks like very little actually went into this one, but wow, that's actually very pretty. I hope that you can see this well. Look at that. Looking forward to giving it a try. Alright, I left it a couple minutes, and I think what's going to settle out in the short amount of time is going to settle out. So I'm going to be a little more careful this time. It's already down in place, so I'm just going to try to get this siphon going again. There we go. I think I'm going to need more bottles. I'm going to sanitize the bottle real quick. Oh, it's going to be a close one. I think this will be the last bottle. And I'm guessing it will not be full. This is the bottle that we're going to taste out of. Alright, let's give it a try. It looks very pretty. It's this beautiful, like, golden, almost ambery color. Oh, and it smells like honey. It smells like honey on a warm summer day. That is not bad. The lemon has really mellowed out. The first time I tried it, the lemon was just overpowering up front. It really was like cleaner lemon, and it wasn't a pleasant, but that's almost gone. There's only like hints of lemon left. That is actually really quite pleasant. I'm going to enjoy drinking this. You should totally try making this, and please, if you've made it this far, please hit all the buttons. Subscribe, like, hype. No one's ever hyped me before. Give it a hit. See what it does. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.